guys, so today I'm going to be doing my very first makeup tutorial, but before I start I wanted to show you some products that I got from Ulta today that I am absolutely ecstatic about. So I got some eye gloss and an eyeshadow palette. I am just, y'all are going to love this. So the eyeshadow palette that I got is Supernova by BH Cosmetics. And you can see it up close there. The palette is just amazing all around. The colors are just extremely pigmented and creamy, and I absolutely love it. I think it's adorable too because it has to do with astrology. Like some of the color names are Leo and Capricorn and Pisces and Pegasus and Celestial and Aurora and Neutron, and it's fantastic. I did some swatches of them already on my Instagram and my Snapchat, so you should check them out if you want to get a more detailed look. They're very, honestly, I feel like you can use them as like a highlighter if you wanted to. Obviously, just these general colors that are right in here. Because they're that illuminated, so definitely check them out. I got this at Ulta today for around $16. It's a lot cheaper than most palettes, which are around like $40 to $50. It's on the cheaper side of Ulta. You know how there's the more expensive side and then there's the cheaper side. This is on the cheaper side, and once again, this is BH Cosmetics, the Supernova. And then another product that I got today was eye gloss by Glazin, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. And the shade is in Mermaid, if that will focus. The shade is in Mermaid. And another name it's also commonly known by is Butter London. It's honestly, you can use this as a highlighter too, I feel like. But the moment I saw it, I just fell in love with it. It's very different from your typical like glitter that you use as a top coat for eyeshadow. Whenever you feel it, like I can actually dip my finger in there, and it's so like cool and slimy. Like I absolutely love it. And you know, I'm just gonna do a swatch for y'all, but this is it's very light, so I think you would have to use a little more of it if you want it to be very vivid. But there it is right there. And whenever you look into, it's very sparkly, and whenever you look into the sun, it actually reminds me of like a mermaid's tail. It has little shimmers and of blue and purple and even like hints of a light green too. I seriously love it, so you should check it out. So this is what it looks like. And once again, that's Glazin eye gloss and the Supernova palette by BH Cosmetics, so y'all should definitely check it out. But I am going to start with the makeup tutorial.
So the primer that I'm starting with today is e.l.f.'s Hydrating Face Primer. I was unfortunately out of my Urban Decay's eye primer potion, so I was left with this. And honestly, I feel like you can use primer anywhere, that including on your eyelids, because it helps them make more brilliant. And if I have any excess on my fingers, I just rub it all over my face. The palette that I'm using is Modern Renaissance by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and the base color that I'm using is the very first one, which is Tempera. And just like the primer, it also helps bring out the colors of the eyeshadow more. And so I take that and put it all over my lid, my crease, and my brow bone. The next color that I'm using is the Buon Fresco. If you know the palette, you know that it's very dark, but it's also a light pink at the same time. And in the video, it looks like it's a brown, but I promise it's the Buon Fresco. And the next color that I'm using is the Love Letter. I absolutely love this color. It just makes any look so vibrant. It's just so beautiful, and it's coming out looking like a brown in the video, but I promise it is that lovely shade of pink. And then I'm using the Vermeer Illuminated shade, and I'm just putting that in my corners of my eyes and a little bit on the base of my eye too. And then I'm just blending, 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 and even more blending. And this is my favorite eyeliner in the world, Kat Von D's ink liner. It took me such a long time to perfect my winged liner so it could look very sharp. But for this look, personally, I'm doing a smaller, thinner wing because I think it makes it look very dainty for this specific look. And once again, I'm using the palette. I'm using the other side of my brush and I'm dipping it in Love Letter. And I'm using it as an eyeliner for my lower lid. Because I feel like it makes it look like it gives it a nice dusting. And it looks very dramatic as well, I feel like. And then once again, I'm just using Love Letter again, and I saw an error there, so I put it on once again just to bring it out. And the mascara that I'm using is my Benefits Roller Lash. I love this mascara because every time I wear it, everybody always asks me, are you wearing falsies? And I'm just like, no, I'm not. It's the Roller Lash, I promise you. It also has that effect of where it curls your lashes without using a curler. I never was really one for using curlers because I was so scared that I would chop my eyelashes off. And then blending once again. Blending is so important to me. I'm just constantly blending. And then once again, e.l.f.'s Hydrating Face Primer. And putting that all over my face, rubbing that in. Because it's going to keep my foundation and everything else on for a long period of time. So I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me foundation and the True Match Lumi by L'Oreal. And I'm just going to take a sponge and I'm going to pour both of them on it and mix it in there. I poured too much. Oh no. And then usually I just take another brush and mix it around, but in this case I'm using my fingers. So whenever I use my fingers, I'm just going to take any excess and rub that on my face. And then I'll eventually use the sponge to put all of it on and dab it in. Always dab, don't rub, because with dabbing it helps to absorb the foundation into your skin a little bit more. At least that's what I've found out with my personal skin and with sponges. And I always put some on my neck just so it doesn't look like I'm wearing a mask on my face. And the concealer that I'm going to use is the Born This Way concealer. I can't remember the name of it, but I know it's the very first shade within the collection because, you know, Irish ancestry sucks. And I put that on my laugh lines, my chin, my nose, under my eyes, and even some on my forehead too to help blend in that acne. And I have a different beauty blender for my concealer because I feel like the two shouldn't get confused because sometimes your concealer is lighter than your foundation. So I'm just blending all of that in, dab, dab, dab. And then the contour kit that I'm using is, of course, from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I'm using the 2 shades on the bottom left. If you're looking at the palette, I mixed them both together. And this is actually a Wet n Wild brush. The brush was probably only like $3 to $6. It's the contour brush. I can't exactly remember. This was so long ago that I got this brush. But Wet n Wild is very inexpensive, and they go a long way. And I put that on my temples. I contour my temples to give it a nice shadow. Too Faced blush with e.l.f.'s Angled Blush Brush. And I really try to put it away from the contour. I put it angled a different way, so pretty much diagonal. And I put a lot of it too, just because whenever I use my Becca highlighter, it will blend it in. And that brush was actually a brush that I got from the Ipsy bag. So I put that all over my face, on my chin, on my forehead, on my nose, and all over my cheekbones. And even some on my chest too, because why not have a little bit of glow on your collarbones? This is Urban Decay's Big Bang Metallized Lipstick. And even though I know I should be using lip liner, I just decided not to, because this lipstick is very, very glossy. And I'm ending with NYX's Finish Matte, and I just spray that all over my face.